Hello, and welcome to Historical Tidbits. Today we'll be talking about the First Punic War. This was the first of three conflicts between Rome and Carthage. What sparked this war was the Roman incursions into Sicily. Rome's goal by entering Sicily was to increase its power and prestige in the Mediterranean. The Republic was making a name for itself and was the state that held sole control of the Italian peninsula. After recent victories over the Latin League and the Samnite Wars, Rome felt as though they were the premier power in the Western Mediterranean. To the south was the Phoenician colonial republic of Carthage. This state came to dominate all aspects of political and military life in northern Africa. How they did this was being at the perfect position to dominate trade between Iberia and northern Africa. Because of this, Carthage had a vested interest in Sicily. Rome was afraid of the encroaching power of Carthage further into Sicily. They were also looking to continue on their string of military victories from their previous wars in Italy. Neither of these states were based in Sicily, and both needed to be continuously supplied to even have a hope of coming out victorious. Now, we aren't here to talk about the war. We are here to focus on one specific battle. A 23-year-long war might seem excessive, but this was normal for massive ancient states that only battled in the summers due to harvests and winter. The battle I want to focus on is the Battle of Tapana. This battle was between 123 Roman ships and 130 Carthaginian ships near Trapani, Sicily. This was no decisive battle by any stretch, but this naval battle had massive consequences for the Roman Republic. Consul Publius Clodius Pulcher was the commander of the Roman fleet. He was the man that would be charged with the failure of Rome in this battle. If we were analyzing the tactics or overall strategies of the two sides, it would be important to tell you about the commanders of both armies. But, since you read the title of this video, I only really need to tell you about one side. Commanders of all stripes in the ancient world had a series of rituals they would go through to ensure they had their god's favor when they entered battle. And if the rituals or practices showed you did not in fact have the favor of your respective god, you better not enter battle, and wait for a different day. Caesar was one commander who took advantage of the Gauls. His spies informed him that his enemy, in fact, did not have the favor of their gods, and Caesar attacked, hoping to capitalize on this. Rome itself had these important traditions, and before the important naval battle of Tapana, Publius Claudius Pulcher took it upon himself to ask the gods for guidance, and if he had favor in this battle. After the ceremony was complete, it was revealed he did not in fact have the guidance and favor of the gods. So he decided to defy them and enter battle anyway. You're probably asking, how on earth did Rome communicate their battle plans with their deities? Well, it's very simple, you see. You can read the title of this video. You've waited long enough to see, so you can obviously tell what it was. It was chickens. Before entering battle, the Romans sought permission to do so by having chickens peck at feed. But on to the thing you really want to hear about, this tradition and its odd happenings. It was known as the dance of feeding birds. Cicero writes about how in the early days of the Republic, any bird could be used to perform this ceremony. Though as time progressed, it became less and less common for birds other than chickens to be used. The sacred poultry was kept by the Puliars, or keeper of the auspiced chickens. I imagine if the army was stranded or bogged down somewhere, he had the most dangerous job, literally defending dinner with his life. When time came for battle, they were released from their cages by the Puliars and fed bread or cake. If the chickens refused to eat, come out of their cages, cried, beat their wings, or tried to fly away, these signs were considered unfavorable, and the Romans did not have the favor in battle. And they should definitely not engage their enemies. If the bird was calm and ate their food, then Rome had the god's favor and should proceed as such. This is important to understand, as when the Romans lost the battle, Pulcher was immediately requested by the Senate and returned to Rome. He was tried for disobeying orders and not heeding the warning of a bad omen. He also died shortly after, publicly ostracized, and most likely died of suicide. I hope his last meal was defiantly clucking all the way to the pot.